Day 2 at the copper mines. Gonna go on the tour. Me and Linda. That does look really cool.
That's my tag.
Hey folks, everybody in the building with blue colored tags. Blue colored tags for the 10:30 tour. Line up at the counter. Just some safety vests.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi folks, good morning. Welcome to the Queen Mine Tour in the city of Bisbee. Thanks to all of you for coming down to check it out. My name is Joey. I'll be your tour guide today. And for safety, you never work alone inside the mine. Always take at least 2 people. And joining us today is my partner, Kendra. If you would, say hi to Kendra right there.
Hi, Kendra. Hey, Kendra.
Now, Kendra, she's going to be doing safety for us today. Now, just before we get around that corner up there, you want to look to your left-hand side. You will see a part of Bisbee's first original mine shaft, the Queen Incline. It was driven in 1881 with hand tools by candlelight at a 45-degree angle to help mine Bisbee's first discovered ore body. We have monitors for it all over the place, and we're checking the levels all the time to make sure it's safe. Yeah. Now, folks, let's head down this way. And again, for a third time, please use your lights. Here in the Southwest Mine, we're standing right in front of transfer chute number 42. Now, before I get started talking probably a little too much about the mine and its history, I always like to start my tours out with questions. Now, I've already had 2 so far. Are there any others about what you've seen so far?
How long did it take to get to that point, to dig to that point?
Now, to get to 1500, so what's interesting about Queen Tunnel is they drove it from both ends. They drove it from the portal in, and they drove it from 17 back to the portal. It took them about a year to meet at the halfway point. There's 43 main levels of mining here in Bisbee, Arizona. 10 levels up into the mountains. We are currently on level 3 of those 10, and there is 33 levels going straight down towards the center of the earth. The deepest shaft is the Campbell. It goes straight down 3,334 feet. So, to move that rock through different vertical levels, you want to use gravity. Send those metal-bearing minerals to a central location. That way, all that ore can be taken to the surface for refining. Now, each one of these chute doors here extends back inside this mountain 12 feet at a slight incline. 12 foot back there is something called a raise, a vertical tunnel, a huge one. It's 15 feet across, it's going 15 feet back, and straight up 200 feet. It's going straight up, it's passing level 4, connecting with the stope on level 5. And the stope areas is where the real mining takes place. That's where they're mining those minerals out. So, in the early 1900s, these chutes were originally put in 1911. The ore is being mined above in that stope. It's brought to the top of the raise and dumped inside. And down here on the haulage route, early 1900s, Phelps Dodge hired hand trammers, teenagers, and told them, start pushing. This is what they would do. They're going to come down here, start their day by spotting or centering this ore car underneath that chute right there. Then they pick up a short piece of hollow pipe called a cheater bar. You fit it over that round handle, come to the end, and you pull down real nice, real easy. Uses leverage. That's why it's called a cheater bar. Now, you very carefully open up that chute door. You open it up just enough that the muck starts to free flow out of there. And it is not going to be dry, dusty chunks like in that ore car over there, hitting a lot of water, and you're using water through the drills. So it's coming out of these chute doors, it's kind of like a soupy mud, almost like wet concrete. And you'll fill the car until it's about 3/4 full, shut that chute back off, and physically push 2,800 pounds to where you're told it needs to go. Didn't expect to see this thing, sure, but here it is. Now, when we were making our way down here on the train, did any of you look to your left-hand side and see a little table and a bench?
Yes. Yeah.
Now that is a model of a shifter shack, where you find your shift boss on the level. They're basically glorified accountants. And one of their jobs in a shift is to visit all their workers on that level twice per shift. Make sure that the work is being done and that it's being done in a safe and effective manner. So, to get around in the 1960s, rather than walking, Phelps Dodge gave all the shift bosses this sweet four-wheel bike with that Stingray banana seat on it right
Love
there.
the wheels.
Kind of speaks to the time frame that thing was designed in, 1963 right there. Yes, indeed. So that's the boss's bike. Now, folks, any other questions right here before we head further down? Now, again, the pyrite, when it is exposed to oxygen and it begins to oxidize, it generates heat on its own.
Was that a
That's
toilet?
nasty stuff, that Calgo pyrite.
Oh, I thought that was a toilet.
But it's one of the most abundant copper ores on the entire planet, so they mine it out anyway.
Dang.
Do you know what this is? When we went to the overlook,
Oh yeah,
is that water?
Oh, yeah.
What- It's water.
it's water.
Okay.
That is water table right there is what you're seeing.
Okay.
And it's got that really nasty color to it because all the metals and minerals that's in it. That would not be water you want to drink or swim in or anything like that.
Well, thank you. Did you hear that, Jordan?
Yeah, because if you go right here, has been mined out. Now, like I mentioned, back in the back, the stope areas is where the real mining takes place. This is where they would have pulled out some of those minerals. So let's check some out right now. The first spot we're gonna look way up there. And you see that pretty green, kind of looks like oxidized penny copper. That pretty green is malachite. It's a copper carbonate. There's over 600 varieties of copper ore and mineral. Malachite is one. And that's one of the minerals the miners were mining out of this stope and taking to the surface for refining. For that red copper metal, it's in everything we use. Now there is more mineralization. If you drop down to that pocket right there, see some more pretty green malachite in the center. The white surrounding the malachite is calcite, calcium carbonate mineral, and it's a rock builder of limestone. And then down below the calcite, that russet colored stuff is called hematite. It's an iron oxide. And that is where the gold was found, here in Bisbee, Arizona. We can't see any of it up there with the naked eye, but it is there in microscopic flecks. By candlelight. And once they get down here, they would pick up these two pieces of equipment. Oh yeah, good old manual labor right there. Now, prior to 1905 here in Bisbee, this is one of your drills. A 4-pound sledgehammer called a single jack. Why is it called that? Because it's a one-man operation right there. And of course, you have to have your starter steel. So you have a 16-inch chisel bit. This is what you're going to do. Take this steel, put it up to the limestone right there, or that pretty green malachite we looked at. You're going to take this hammer, strike it as hard as you can, rotate it a quarter of a turn. Now you have to rotate that steel for two reasons. One, it's a chisel bit. If you don't turn it, it's going to get stuck. You'd be fighting that steel to get it back out of the hole. And reason number two is for the dynamite. Dynamite, nice and round, likes a nice and round hole. So, we're just going to keep this up. Strike, turn, as hard as you can, 20 to 30 times a minute until that hole is collared. Now collaring the hole is driving that steel in till it's about 2-3 inches deep. Now once you get your hole started, it's time to switch. The real fun starts. Two-man job now. So you pull this out, set it off to the side over here. One miner in the pair, called the shaker, works up in length of drill steel. This one's 22 inches. They'll move to a bit 3 foot long, eventually to a bit 5 foot long. Now the shaker takes this drill steel and holds it firmly in that collared hole. He's not going to let go of it. The other miner, is swinging the double jack, the 12-pound sledge. And keep in mind, this is done by the light of candles. I'm gonna go down
I wonder if these guys are here
I've been down there
to
before.
explore the, different parts
Not
of the
very
mine
far,
where we don't
about
get to
80
go.
feet. It was fun. It was interesting.
Come down here and swing the Bisbee.
Yeah. I'm sure someone has.
Yeah.
After a long day's hard work. Ooh, it is bright.